Hello and welcome to today's video. We're here for the Overwatch League Power Rankings here on the channel. And we're getting ready to go into week number 3 of the Overwatch League on Wednesday. So here's the Power Rankings after Stage 2, heading into week 3. So, somewhat to be expected. Still last on our Power Rankings, the Shanghai Dragons. They are 0-14, and that's really all I actually got to say about that. Honestly, what else do you need? If we go here, though, we can... Actually, I'm doing things a little bit better so I can see what their scores were for this week. So, I believe they got 4-0'd twice. Yeah. They lost to... Where are they at? I know they lost earlier this week. Okay, they got forward by the Gladiators, and they got forward by the Shock. So, they are not having the best time. They've only won 7 maps, which is feels bad. They're the only team not to have double-digit map wins. That's why they're still last. They moved up 1 week on the Power Rankings up to 11th, but until they get their new players on their team, I forgot their names, but there's those 3 Chinese players and the 1 Korean girl there that they were going to get. Until they get them, I feel like they're going to still be losing. It's just a big problem. It's crazy that they're doing as bad as they're doing. Because I made the meme to the meme earlier in the year. I'm like, yo, your team's trash. They're going to lose every match. And I was thinking they're going to be like a middle team. Right? I said it to him as like, haha, lol. Because that's what you do. But... they're actually last, and this feels bad for them. Coming in at number 11th is the Florida Mayhem. They are 11-45 on maps. 11-45-1, should I say, maps. So they're only a little bit better than Shanghai. Their 1 win coming against Shanghai. So Florida, as well, has been about equally as bad. They played each other, and that's where they got their 1 win. They got 4-0'd by Boston, and before that, they actually took a map from the Spitfire, but still ended up losing 3-1. So Florida has struggled as well, so I believe they're adding players, or they added a player or something, I'm not really sure, but they haven't really improved either. I think the only thing they practice is their walking out introduction things. That's the only part they practice. Alright, next on our power rankings is the Los Angeles Gladiators. They're the number 8th. They're 8th overall in the division, but on my power rankings, they're 10th. I mean, they're 6-8. Let's see how they played this week. They 4-0'd the Shanghai Dragons, as we said, and they lost 3-1 to the Seoul Dynasty. And they haven't really impressed me at all. The Gladiators, they just really haven't been that good of a team. They're 6-8. They're kind of one of those teams that's like, if they start winning, they have a good chance that they can still make the playoffs at the end of the season. But Florida and Shanghai, those 2 teams are definitely looking like, yeah, they might not make the playoffs. So I think those 2 teams have an issue there. Next on our power rankings is the number 10th overall team, and number 9th on our power rankings, the San Francisco Shock. They're 4-10. They're 22-34-2 on maps. Oh, I don't think I said the Gladiators. The Gladiators were 26-32. Alright, so for San Francisco being 22-34 on maps, this week they lost 3-1 to the Valiant, and they beat the Dragons 4-0. I think they have good players, but they have to just be better. I'm not really sure what their issue is. But as a team, maybe they have to do some more teamwork together or something that they can improve on. But I'm not really sure what, again, their issue really is, because I think they have good players. They seem like they're a decent team, but it's just getting to that bit where they can actually get the win. It's going to be a yikes. But I think they can move up. All right, coming in number 8 here on our power rankings, and ranked number 9th overall. One of the more popular teams in the league, the Dallas Fuel. They're 5-9. They're 22, 33, and 3 on maps. Take a look at who they played this week. They lost to Seoul Dynasty 3-1. That's their first loss of the stage. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's only 1 week, but still. And then they lost 3-1 to the Valiant. So the Fuel were looking pretty good. They got XQC back, and they started out good, but they came up against the team that's 2nd and 4th in the standings. And it really did show they still have some improving to do before they can be back up in the top and considered a top team in the league again. Alright, coming in number 7th here on our power rankings, and also 7th here in the Overwatch League standings. Pretty sure they're about the same from here on out. The Boston Uprising, they're 7-7. They're 31-29 on maps. And Boston this week got 4-0'd by New York and then 4-0'd the Mayhem. So it does really prove that they're just a middle of the road team. They moved up a lot in my power rankings earlier in stage 1. I thought they played really well, but this really shows that they are just a middle of the road team, beating one of the worst teams and losing to one of the best teams. 4-0 and 4-0. I mean, they're just there. Alright, so that gives them that spot. Number 6, the Philadelphia Fusion. They are 9-5. They're 31-30. 31-30-1 on maps. That's a yikes to say. This week, they played against Houston. They got the reverse sweep against the Houston Outlaws, and they lost 4-0 to the London Spitfire this week. So they were able to beat one of the top teams, or like one of the teams that's right up. They were able to beat a team above them and then lose to a team that is above them as well. So I think they deserve the position that they are ranked here. Coming in number 4 on my power rankings and in the league. I'm dying now. Alright, coming in number 4, the Los Angeles Valiant. They are 10-4. They're 35-19-4 on maps. And this week, the Valiant went and beat the Shock 3-1 and beat the Fuel 3-1. So they were able to beat both of the teams that they matched up against this week. And I think that they have only lost once in this stage. They're definitely one of the teams that people want to beat. And they're, I think, right now... Wait, we skipped over number 5. Okay, number 5, real quick. The Houston Outlaws, they're 39-22. They kind of got wrecked by New York. New York kind of exposed their players. They lost 0-4 in that. And they lost to the Fusion, getting that reverse sweep 2-3. So I don't know why I didn't move them down, but they can stay in 5th for now. Actually, no, I think I should switch that. Alright. I didn't know that they had kind of, or I kind of forgot that. They lost to the Fusion. So I'm going to change that now. So, edit to my power rankings here. The Houston Outlaws in 6th, Philadelphia Fusion in 5th. Alright, now in 4th, Los Angeles Valiant, as I was saying, being able to do whatever they did. Who did they beat? San Francisco, Fuel. Not the best teams, but only losing 1 match this stage so far, and being 4th overall in the standings, behind New York, Seoul, and London. it's pretty good for the teams that are the non-all-Korean player teams. Being New York, Seoul, and London, those players have only Korean players. As everybody knows, the Korean players of Overwatch are just better. They're a little bit better than all the players from anywhere else in the world. So it is Los Angeles Valiant that are the team that are right there. That I think if they're gonna win, or if there's gonna be a team that's gonna not be New York, Seoul, or London that wins in the end of the Overwatch League, it might just be the Valiant. Alright, coming in number 3 in the standings and in the power rankings, the London Spitfire. They're 10-4, so they're the same record as the Los Angeles Valiant. They are 41-20. That's where the difference between the Valiant and the Spitfire is their record overall. The Spitfire this week, they won 3-1 against the Mayhem, and they beat the Spitfire. The Spitfire beat the Spitfire. The Spitfire beat the Fusion 0-4, and that was basically about it. They beat the 11th place team and they beat the 6th place team, as they should. If they lost those, they would be like 15th on the power ranking right now. Alright, coming in number 2 is the team that is ranked first in the Overwatch League based on wins and losses. The New York Excelsior. They're 12-2. They're 44-14-2 on maps. And the reason that they are where they are, I mean, they did beat the Outlaws, which was good. Beating a team that's kind of close. Again, the gap, I think, between the top 3 and the next 3, there is a little bit of a gap, and like the Valiant could be kind of in the middle of that. But honestly, the top 2 teams here that I'm going to rank, oh, that's the volume. I don't want the volume on my computer, but I want the brightness. The top 2 teams, doesn't really matter who gets ranked where. They're very evenly matched. So I put New York second. 2, of course, the first place on my power rankings, and second place here in the league, the Seoul Dynasty. The 11-3 Seoul Dynasty, 38-19-2 on maps. So the differential is 11 points or 11 maps difference just between the first and second place team, New York and Seoul. But I put Seoul first because they are, I think, coming back. I think that they're determined to win, and I can tell that by watching them play. And I don't want to seem like that I put them first because they're my favorite team. Okay, I put them first because the meta is going to help them as it did in the first week. Okay, if they lose a match and New York wins, I'm going to switch it. You guys can go back and watch their power rankings and see that I did make those changes when it had to happen. So I'm not putting them first ranked because they're my favorite team. And they beat the Gladiators. So again, for the New York Excelsior, they did have to play a little bit more difficult teams this week, but they still won either way. So both of them are pretty evenly balanced teams, but I think Seoul's determined. They were expected to go 10-0 in the first stage, and they didn't. You can see that they were disappointed. I think the players get to represent their entire country, which is supposed to be the best of video game competitively. You know, they're supposed to be the best players. They're supposed to be the best team. They expect to be the best team. And I feel like they were not very happy about losing those matches that they did lose. I can tell. I remember that there was the match that they lost in the beginning of the season. Not that they lost. They won in the beginning of the season against Dallas. And then they weren't too happy about winning it. but it's based on how they were playing. And if they're not too happy about winning a match because they played bad, like they're not mad at we won, but they're mad based on how they played. And of course, I think they're going to be upset in this. If you're supposed to be the best team in the best country of video games competitively, especially in Overwatch, you're just expected to. You're expected to win, and I think that they're going to be at the top. So, it's just what they do. It's what the Seoul Dynasty does. It's how it works, you know? That's what they expect. They expect to win every time they go out there. So, with that, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week as we get prepared for stage number 4. But coming up this week, let's see what big games there are first. Oh, that's stage 3. Oops. I want to look at stage 2, week 2. Big games this week for the stage. You get the Battle of Los Angeles again, the Valiant and the Gladiators. The Valiant should probably win that one. That's really the only big match that's here. Anything that could be impactful here? None of the matches really... I mean, I guess San Francisco Shock and Dallas Fuel, they're both kind of bottom teams. One of them needs to get a win. So that could be impactful also. Seoul Dynasty plays both of Lamim's teams this week. Seoul plays San Francisco. Seoul plays Shanghai and Philadelphia, so that'll be interesting to watch as well. The Valiant and Outlaws are playing. That's also a good match to watch. That's a one for a key positioning there. If the Outlaws can win, that would also put them at 10-5, and the Valiant will be the same record. So if they can beat them. So I guess the Outlaws and Valiant, Shock and Fuel, Valiant and Gladiators, those are some big matches to watch in week number 3 of stage number 2. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.